You know what's interesting, though, is how undeniably awesome Medicare for All would be. How undeniable is it? So undeniable, even the Koch brothers are recognizing how good it is. Yeah, that's right. I said the Koch brothers. The freaking Koch brothers. A Koch-backed study finds Medicare for All would save the U.S. trillions. That's like a study backed by Tyson Meat Company found out going vegan is the right thing to do. Or a study funded by oil and gas found out that solar is the way to go. The Koch brothers. The Koch brothers-backed study finds Medicare for All would save the U.S. trillions. An estimated cost of $32.6 trillion over 10 years is less than the U.S. would spend over the next 10 years under the current system. A single-payer Medicare for All system would reduce the amount the U.S. spends on healthcare by more than $2 trillion, a Koch brothers-funded study released Monday found. Research by the Marikatis Center at George Mason University, a libertarian think tank backed by the Koch brothers. Let me rephrase this sentence. Research by a right-wing propaganda tank funded by the Koch brothers couldn't somehow spin the data to make Medicare for All sound like a bad thing. You know, I tweeted this article out yesterday and somebody responded. They were like, look, when the truth is on your side and it's so apparent, sometimes even the Koch brothers can't spin it. The study did conclude, however, that Medicare for All would result in significant savings for the government because of lower prescription drug costs. How is that a however? Why is there a forever there? Yeah, we'd get cheaper drugs. We would get cheaper drugs. We'd have a better system. We'd have better distribution. Everything would be better over Medicare for All. When we talk about a Medicare for All, okay, is the article going to try to get apologetic and centrist here? Let's see. Think Progress sometimes does that. Sometimes they don't always think progress. Let's move on. When we talk about a Medicare for All system, it's important to discuss the cost in the context of what the U.S. already spends on healthcare. Actually, that's an excellent point. I haven't read this article all the way through yet, so I wasn't sure what to expect. That's actually a good point to make, and it's something people love to forget to do. Here in California, when we were trying to get our single-payer bill passed, people kept talking about how much it would cost while forgetting the fact that it would be less in GDP than what we already spend on healthcare. Even if we made no adjustments and would have just passed the bill as it was, which it wasn't a perfect bill. There was some work that could have been done on it to make it even better. But even if we just would have pushed it through as is, no adjustments whatsoever, we still, which even the nurses acknowledged, the bill wasn't totally finished because they were told not to finish it. Just for a quick recap, the nurses who put forth the single-payer bill, the Nurses Association here in California, they were told, don't completely finish it, just do X, Y, and Z, and then we're going to fill in the rest. Then when the bill got in, Rendon and his lackeys, Rendon, who's in the Congressional 63rd District, and hopefully is going to get beat by Maria Estrada in November, he said, oh, where's all this other stuff? We're going to table this. That's what happened. The nurses were lied to and stabbed in the back. By who? Democrats. Anyway, moving on. Even if the bill just would have went through as it was, it still would have been less than what we spend now on healthcare in the state of California. And people love to ignore that part. They kept saying, oh, look at how much it would cost. Instead of, look at what we're already spending. This is less than that, so it would be cheaper. That's the equivalent of saying, hey, we kind of made some rearrangements in your finances, and your car bill is going to be $200 a month instead of $300 a month. And then you go, I can't afford that extra $200 a month. And then you go back and you're like, yeah, but it's not an extra $200 a month. You are currently paying $300. It's $200 now. You're saving $100 a month. And then you being like, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does. I do not have a background in math, but even I get that. You guys get that, right? It's not that complicated. Okay. So that's a good point by this article. That means over the next decade, the U.S. is projected to spend more than $33 trillion plus inflation, but without any changes to our current system, significantly more than Meredith's estimated $32.6 trillion cost to the federal government over the next 10 years. So that means this system would save us money overall because it would change the way we pay for it. So what we're currently spending, which is like here, under a single-payer system, it would be here. Yes, it would be more of an expenditure for the government on the surface because we're not currently doing that system. But when you look at what we, the people, spend on healthcare, we wouldn't be spending all that money in the private sector. Instead, we will be spending it for a nonprofit single-payer system, and it would save everybody money, including the government. So, yeah, it's not really that hard. So what are we waiting for, guys? What are we freaking waiting for?
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on.